over 3 times body weight to open his deadlift, all the way from New Jersey. He came to lift with us last year, put on a great show. Let's give him a big round of applause. Let's give this up for him. He comes all the way from New Jersey to compete with this great guy. Give him a big hand when he comes up here. He's going to have a big pull on him. Jerry Clemens is on deck. Ethan Robertson in the hole. That's going to start 30-10. So flight E. Pay attention to flight E. After this flight of deadlifts, you will start. We need 5 reds and a 10 spotters. 5 reds and a 10. Sorry about that mistake. 181 pounds, folks. He's going to be pulling 650 pounds on his second attempt. 650 pounds at 181. Almost 4 times body weight, folks. This is a great pull. Let's get behind it. Let's hear it for him. Gonna pull 672 pounds at 181. All the way from New Jersey. He was down here with us last year. I think we missed this pull last year, maybe this 666. So let's make sure we get behind him, get loud for him, with that we want to see him get it. This is an American record attempt block platform up in Rosario, 672 pounds. Let's hear it, folks. Let's get it up there.
Thank you for watching the video. As you can see, this is footage from my first powerlifting meet of the year on February 20th of 2016 at the USPA Strongbox Pro-Am in Charleston, West Virginia. First thing I would like to say is I'd like to thank, obviously thank God for this opportunity, and wouldn't be where I am without him. And also I want to thank my family for supporting me as always, and I always appreciate it. Couldn't do this without them. I also like to thank the host for this meet yet again, Johnny Lane and Blake Williamson, for hosting another great meet. And I competed at the first annual Strongbox Pro-Am last year, and I knew for a fact that at that competition I definitely was going to do this again. The caliber of athletes that compete at this competition, as well as the hospitality that they display, is something I never experienced anywhere else in powerlifting. And I wasn't going to hesitate to not come back to this competition. So definitely wanted to come back. Also, I want to thank David Wojciechowski. I believe that's his name. I completely murdered it, I know that for a fact. But he announced for the competition, and big ups to him, because he definitely made it more exciting, and pretty much brought the crowd behind the lifters, which is something that I think a lot of lifters do enjoy, and it makes it better. It gets them easily amped up for their lift. So big ups to him on that. He did a stellar performance with that. So so my first attempt, I opened up with 600. And one thing I did notice, which I might have been going crazy, I'm not sure, but One thing I did notice was when I was getting ready and I was waiting and they were loading the bar was bent. Um, not not because it was a deadlift bar. It was on the floor when they were tightening the locks and everything and putting the bar. I noticed that when they were and also at one point when they were cleaning the bar and they were twisting it, the bar was actually bent. And um, that's a really big factor because that could really affect your grip. Because the thing is, if you grab the bar the wrong way, the bar will roll into a form where into its natural form, and that could slip out of your hand, and it could potentially injure you. Um, so um, I wasn't really sure, but the lifter who was lifting before me, Shane Darrow, another fellow 181 powerlifter, phenomenal lifter by the way, he said that he was actually having grip issues on the deadlift, which he's never had before. So I felt like it couldn't have been coincidence that he said grip was an issue for him, and to me it looked like the bar was bent. So you know, um, I felt like that was a really big factor. So of course, based on the factors that you have to adjust accordingly. So at first I was like, I'm probably just overthinking things. I'm gonna just go for it. It's fine. So opened up with 600, went up smooth, no problem, and it didn't seem like an issue, but I felt like what, it could when it comes down to the wire, it might play a factor. So my second attempt, I went for 650, and from the videos you can see what happened was they accidentally loaded 628, and I right before I went I was like, I don't think it's 650, and unfortunately it was just a bit of miscommunication with the scorekeepers and the spotters, which is okay. It happens. People make mistakes. Music was loud anyway, so a lot of things come into play. So you know, it's really important to just make sure that you're aware of everything, aware of your surroundings, and just making sure that um, you're aware, so that way you put yourself in the best advantage as possible to be able to perform at your absolute best. So I was really happy that I was able to point that out and adjust accordingly. So I went up to the bar and I kind of spun the bar around just to check to make sure the bar wasn't bent. It didn't seem like it, so I was like, I'm gonna just go for it anyway. So then I pulled a 650, went up smooth, and I felt the bar kind of slowly rolling out of my hand, and I was like, oh shit, this might be a problem on my third attempt. So, and that's why, and I was falling back to that has to tell me that the bar might actually be bent. So, um, on my third attempt, I had to adjust accordingly. The goal for me was to get 683, but I felt like, what, let me bump down to 672 to make sure that, if the grip's going to be the only factor, I can definitely hold on long enough to get it. So, and turns out that that was a smart call by me because I did get the lift up, but the bar was slowly starting to fall out of my hand, and I held on long enough to wait for the command to put the bar down. So, and one interesting fact is that I actually got 2 white lights out of 3 on that lift, and I have been competing for about a year and 7 months now, and I've done 9 competitions, and this is the first competition that I've ever done that I've gotten a red light on a good lift. The first time ever. And I kid you not. It's the first time I've ever had that. So, I'm not really happy with that because, obviously that's something I wanted to maintain. But, like I said, due to the certain circumstances that were coming into play, I had to adjust accordingly. So, yeah, pulled 672.4. It was the American junior and open deadlift records. So another goal I had was I wanted to get a 4 times bodyweight deadlift, but I actually turned out to get only 3.94 times my body weight. So if I did go for the the 683 like I planned, I would have gotten it. But it's okay. Like I said, I adjust accordingly to what was going on. So definitely want to play it smart. And at least if you can't get your goal, at least get 3 out of 3. So I will not argue with that. I'll definitely take that. So 3.94 times my body weight. Cannot complain with it at all. But not where I want to be, of course. So actually, this lift put me back up to 8th in the United States on Powerlifting Watch, and actually put me in 35th on the pound for pound top 50 strongest deadlifts based on Wilks' score in the United States. So that was another thing that I was aiming to get on, was to get on that top 50 list for the pound for pound strongest overall. And now I'm on the list, and now that's another list I want to start working my way up towards. So it's good and all to be nationally ranked on your weight class, but it's better to be ranked in the top 50 pound for pound overall, because I feel like that that actually stands out more, and that says a lot, because you're talking about that's everybody combined. It's top 50 overall, and if you're combining all weight classes from 128 pounds up to super heavyweights, which is over 308 pounds, and to be top 50 on that list, it says a lot. So really ecstatic to be on that list. But obviously now I want to work my way up and be higher on that list, of course. So definitely a lot of things to take away from this competition, to learn from and to apply to the next competition, to make sure that I can also adapt to any circumstances or the environment or atmosphere that I'm in, so I can perform at my best on that day. So a lot of lessons definitely learned, and going to be right back at it on Wednesday. I really want to get right back into it. So clean slate for me. And it was nice. I had a lot of people that did come up to me that actually didn't know who I was, which was very nice. And I had one gentleman come up to me and tell me, he said, "Oh, I heard you were the guy that lifted 672 at 181." I was like, "Oh yeah, that was me," because he was actually judging on the other platform, because there were 2 platforms at the same time for this competition. And he was saying, "Oh, wish we did give you more attention for your lifts." And I was like, "You know what? It's okay, because honestly, I don't lift for attention. I'd rather hit a personal best with nobody watching than not hit anything with everybody watching. So I'll take it. I'll take that. I don't need the attention for to accomplish what I set out for, because actually while I was deadlifting, Pete Rubish was actually deadlifting as well. And for those who know who he is, he did also break an American record at the competition. Well, I believe he tied the American record, but I believe that if he weighs less, I'm not sure how that rule goes, but I believe if he weighs less than the person he tied it with, then he may get the record. So, it was a very honorable to be able to perform at an elite level alongside an elite lifter, as well as other elite lifters as well. Danny Walls, I'm pretty sure you guys know who he is. 198 lifter, deadlifted 705. I believe Brandon Franklin, 220 lifter, squatted 804. And I'm trying to think of other people that I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. I don't have anybody else to remember, but I know for a fact there's a lot of a decent amount of records that were broken on that day, and a lot of stellar performances with the route.